I'm Joe. This is Joe Tells You. That is
Taylor. Hello.
We're here again, bringing you some information, lessons, life stuff. I'm going to bring it back to some things that have been going on lately, some current events. And today's lesson is about spending money on relationships.
Do you want to point out your shirt too? We are still in the Comic-Con week.
Oh yeah, we're celebrating Comic-Con week. Nerds, yeah, blah blah. Taylor has on the Deadpool
Kool-Aid shirt.
You'll see it on the We Tell You show. I have the Goonies shirt on because I've actually never watched the movie.
Jeez.
But I heard that nerds like it, I guess.
The Goonies never die.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
But I got this shirt at a garage sale. So financial lessons, go to garage sales, one of our shows. Anyways, we'll update you on some other stuff later, but for right now we'll get into it because a lot of good stuff has been happening in finance, and I want everyone out there to pay attention. And Taylor, you brought this up to me earlier this week.
And you brought it up to me, yes. We talked about, you want to talk about name drop here?
Our favorite site.
Oh, jeez.
Favorite site in the world.
Dun, dun, dun.
TMZ.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this out there, everybody? Have you seen this? So, Rob Kardashian, I don't know, a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever. He starts dating Black China. I don't know the real name. All I know is she was a former stripper, danced at the same place that Amber Rose danced at, who's now hosting Loveline for some reason. I don't know. They gave a lot of talentless nobody shows a while ago, and it feels like it feels like you have to be worse and worse of a person or do less and less in your life to be interesting nowadays. Because at least, let's see, Paris Hilton was the daughter of, started with her, the daughter of someone rich and famous.
The Hiltons, people own the hotels.
Kim Kardashian was her maid or something like that. And then you have Amber Rose, who was known for dancing at a strip club.
And she's dating Kanye West.
And then, and she was dating Kanye. And then you had Black China, who was also her assistant or maid or something like that.
Her
I'm not
friend
sure.
who had a kid with Tyga, who is now dating.
Okay, so a little update. So as far as I know, Kylie, who's a Kardashian or a Jenner, was dating Tyga and had a kid with Black China, and then to get back with Black China to get back with Tyga.
I hate all these names so much.
Was with Rob to teach a lesson to Tyga or something like that.
If you try to think of their mentality, it's not going to work. Just don't.
Ralph Garman put it best before, and he said, if this was a show about trailer park people and they did not have the Kardashian name and you didn't know they were famous, it would be indistinguishable. It would just be basically trailer park people with money. Think about it. It all makes sense. It's all right there. So, basically, Rob, what happened was he was with Black China. Everyone knew that she didn't like Rob because Rob is, how do I put this?
Big.
Let's just say on a ranking of the Kardashians, he wouldn't be in the top 5 as far as like favorability, popularity, money, whatever have you.
Being the only male Kardashian, he's not even the most favorite male Kardashian.
He's probably the actual only male in the family now that Bruce has gone over to the other side.
And Bruce Jenner,
Jenner.
And then their father died, who represented OJ during the OJ trial.
Yes, that's right. Yes, who was also played by David Schwimmer in the made-for-TV event. It was actually good. American Crime Story. Catch it. So anyways, Taylor's distracting me with this. Okay, so just to recap what happened. So Rob is your classic story. He dates Black China. He buys her a bunch of gifts. He's making her, according to his postings, he's paying her Benz, her Ferrari, her apartment, and all kinds of other stuff, right? Now, the last time I checked, the state for welfare gives you, what, $350 per kid?
Yes.
So according to the state of California or whatever, that is the cost of raising kids. So I believe anything in excess of that any Ferrari in excess of $350 or anything like that is well over in excess of the cost of raising a kid. So apparently he was giving all those gifts. Came out on the news that him or her guy she was with was texting pictures of her in bed with, she was with another man, and he was texting pictures to Rob to enrage Rob. So who's the person here that we should blame for this? Normally everyone would blame Black China because they would say, well, she's a stripper and she's doing Rob dirty and she shouldn't be doing that even after she had a kid with him. But on this show, we talk about the finances and everything else, and I want to put the blame squarely on Rob. Rob is an idiot. I don't know if you're a nice guy. I don't know anything about you, Rob. I don't know anything about your personal life. All I know is what I've heard about you. Me and you, I've heard share the same eating habits, so that's fine. I mean, I salute you there. But as far as spending the money, you're an idiot. Sorry. That's the truth. You spend too much money on someone who doesn't deserve it, didn't earn it, but suckered you into a bunch of gifts. Now, I wish this was a unique story, but it's not. Happens to a lot of guys. Happens to a lot of guys we knew growing up. Happens to women. Happens to women. They'll date a guy who doesn't have a job, and they'll help get him on his feet and pay for his bills, and they'll help maybe they're just 35 and things haven't gone well in their lives. Maybe they just need to go to school, and maybe they'll maybe this will be the one thing that gets them to change. It never does. And, guys will fall for a pretty girl who asks for gifts or asks for something to help them for school or whatever else. It happens all the time. Everyone knows this, whatever. But the point of this is spending your money on things that matter. Taylor, did you know anybody who would spend their money growing up on guy, girl, who were obviously using them?
Yes.
Yes, happened. Would you like to share the story for our audience here at the Joe Tells You show?
Talking about are talking about guys who use girls or girls who use guys?
Here's the thing. It goes either way. I've seen it both ways. I've known people in this house that have used women. I know suckers that have paid for women's stuff too. But let's just go the first example, the best example off your head, personal experience.
The gentleman we spoke of earlier in our car ride to go get food, the couch surfing.
Oh yes.
Parent living. I know I'm better than everybody. He actually suckered some girl who we saw Sideshow Bob, because your hair was like Sideshow Bob, into paying for like his car payments, maintenance on his car, to go see her, and just meals. And he would brag about everything. He would brag about everything that he had a lot of money, but it was always her paying for things instead of him. But he wouldn't let his friends see that. He would always have her give him the money. Then he would pay just to that. But it was really bad. She left. She ended up leaving him for some drug dealer in Hollywood. But
so there you go. So we can go into these examples all day, but me and Taylor have come up with maybe some advice or some tips for how you may know that you're dating somebody who sucks.
Red flags.
Red flags. So when you first go out on dates, it's okay to pay for a couple things. But when the things start becoming, I don't know, everything, it's probably a bad sign. So let's say, go to the movies, dinner, happens a couple times, fine, whatever. But when it starts turning into things like clothing, like I'm not talking about like a nice jacket or maybe like an accessory. I'm talking about like, I can't really afford clothes. Can you buy me clothes to wear? Like, it might be getting a little excessive. Or I
may also even say that dinner and movies okay, but having them have you take them out almost every night for dinner, that's too much.
Yes. How about, let's say, more than 3 times a week?
Yeah.
That's more than 3 times a week is not multiple dates. You're feeding a homeless person. And you must understand the difference between that. It's very critical. And we say this joking, but seriously, these are real red flags. The other thing would be, I always call this the cell phone test, right? If you call them and their cell phone is off or out of service because they can't pay the bill, red flag that they might not be managing things correctly. I mean, usually, someone's on a cell phone plan, or maybe that this is a one-time instance or whatever. Gauge it. Happens a couple times. Pretty serious that they are having financial difficulty. The other thing is, is there a reason for financial difficulty? Okay. Oh, the other thing, sorry, cell phone.
Gas.
The other thing, gas. Oh, yeah. Taylor just ripped it right on right there.
Totally.
Gas. Like, during the recession, did you ever see the guys at the gas stations with the can, and they're like, "Hey, can you help give me some gas filled up?"
Yeah.
Before it was $1, or before it was change, or like a quarter, nickel. Then it was like $1. And then now it's a gas can. Like, a gallon was like $4. Like, at a certain point, you can't be paying for someone's life to live like that. Now, I understand we pay taxes to certain programs. We can give money to the homeless, stuff like that, whatever. But if you have a car and you're at a gas station, you're more well off than a lot of people. Like, me and Taylor were driving right now. We saw a guy asking for money on the freeway, and we see sometimes there's homeless tents off the side of the freeway, right? If you have a car, you're already better than those people, or better, not better, more well off than those people. So, no, I'm not giving you gas for your car. So, if they ask for gas a lot, like one time, had someone come to my house and they're like, I needed some change some gas money to get home. First of all, you came over my house. The fact that you need gas to get home is just ridiculous. So that's another red flag as well, right? And then look for a reason. Like there has to be a reason, right? Okay, so let's say they have a kid, right? Okay, that's a good reason to not have any money, right? Mm-hmm. But what if they don't have a kid? Right? What if they have a full-time job? And what if they live at their parents' house? Where's your money going? That's another red flag. If you go to their house or go to their closet and they have 20 pairs of shoes and they're asking you for more shoes, red flag. If they have 20 purses, ask you for more purse, red flag. If they have lots of jewelry and ask you for more jewelry, red flag. And we're not talking about years in a relationship here, people. We're not talking about that. And then guys too. Same thing goes for guys. Although guys aren't jewelry, guys might be, tools or other stuff. So if they're asking for this stuff like month 1 through month 6, that's a little ridiculous to be asking for somebody you just started dating. I mean, Taylor, when do you think it's appropriate to start giving pricier gifts? We're talking pricier gifts, like, let's just say above $75. Let's just say that. A gift above $75 is a little much to be spending on someone you just started dating. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. I'll be lenient with a number. I'll go 6 months. 6 months of solid dates and progression in your
3 days a week dates, not 4 or 5, because then you're just feeding a homeless person. Remember.
Yeah.
Remember this.
So 6 months of dating progressively. You guys are doing things, your things are making progress. You actually have feelings, but the forth, whatever. Not so much like I love you, but it's progress. You guys are having progress, and you're moving forward. It's going to go somewhere.
And you don't know how many times I've seen this over and over again. Like, we're talking about Rob Kardashian here, but this is everybody, right? I've seen it so many times. Like, I've seen guys doing this all the time, where they're just buying gifts and putting out all this money for women all the time, right? And I've seen guys literally go up to the same women and they're just like making out, and they're leaving the party with them. And I've seen, we had a Halloween party before, and one of our friends, the former comedian or whatever he does now, he was trying to hand a girl money
movie tickets,
and then Dot just walked away with her, of course, every time. So what I'm saying is that if somebody likes you, they're not going to be asking for gifts right away. There was actually there was a show. It's called, it's like a scam show where the guy goes around finding scams, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing the girl said was, will you be my boyfriend? Let's go shopping, whatever, right? Shopping on a first date, second date, let's say dates 1 through 20.
Yeah.
Bad sign she doesn't like you. That's a bad sign. Goes for like a let's do some age tells right now.
I'd also say that if a good test is if she says let's go shopping, you say no, and she gets mad at you. That's another reason.
Oh yeah, I think if you try to buy things and they're getting mad about it, another great reason to not really want to talk to that person. I'm telling you, no one ever bought a woman into liking them, and likewise with a guy. It's never happened. Rob's giving Ferraris out. It's not working. Obviously, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much. It just matters if they like you or not. And we're going to say a lot of this from the perspective of guys, but girls.
Yeah.
Girls always try to change guys, right? That's the big thing. They're trying to change a guy. Here's a hint. Let's give an age range on a guy. We're guys. We can come from a guy's perspective.
Yes.
Let's say, how old do you think a guy can be to have excuses? I have a number in my head, but let's see what Taylor thinks.
Excuses to
meaning
not,
I don't have a career, I don't have a job, I'm not married, I don't have kids, and these are all the reasons why. Nothing having to do with my immaturity, intellect, or ability to be a husband or father or whatever else.
21.
No, that's so young. Get out of
I
here.
don't know.
No, like I mean, like as if like the excuses are gone, right? Like, like let's say like, okay, it's after college age, after military age. It's when everyone around you, most likely the peers, are getting jobs like that.
Yeah.
I think like 28 to like 33 or 34, right?
Okay.
Like if you don't have your life together by then, you're not the thing that's going to come along and change it, whether you believe you're going to or not. That person probably doesn't have their crap together. So I'm saying 35, and I've seen this.
I misunderstood the question. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It was But women, if the guy's like in his mid 30s and he doesn't have any of these things going for him,
he's at home.
Like career, property ownership, he was married before, and maybe his wife fell off a cliff or something, and it wasn't his fault, and then like no reason at all could. Then that's a valid excuse or a valid reason, right? But if all of this stuff is coming to you and there's no real good reason why this person hasn't got together, probably a bad sign. You don't want to be with someone.
So you're
like
saying
that.
somebody 33 in between jobs, it can't hold a job for more than, let's say, four months.
Let's give specifics. Name started with a J. Was a former valet. Had different like jobs throughout his life. Fired from them, quit them, went to different jobs, stuff like that. Barely drives in his mid 30s, drives like a kid's car, like one that's either affordable by a child or like a racing type of sports car. Like sports cars are only acceptable if you're young and into them, right? Like a car guy, or if you're older and going through a midlife crisis. If you're like in your mid 30s, you're like prowling outside. What was it? Dazed and Confused, where
oh yeah,
yeah,
they stay the same age and I get older.
Yeah. I just keep getting older. They stay the same age, right there. You don't want that creep around. I'm telling you, it doesn't work out. You think it's going to work out, it's not going to work out. So this is a lesson. Even if you are successful and rich and have money, the same rules apply exponentially. Instead of $75, let's raise it $200 or $300 for dates and things like that. Tom Likas used to have a rule, $40 on a date, but he's old and irrelevant now, so no one cares. So all you have left is us. We're the only ones talking about it. But think about it. It has never, ever worked. It's never worked, ever. Even like someone I know right now who's dating an older man, not their type, stuff like that or whatever. It's not going to work because the eyes are somewhere else. Here's a clue. If you've seen this happen to one of your friends, if all they've ever dated their entire life was one type of person, and all of a sudden they do a complete 180 on you and date another type of person, but this person happens to have money, that's a good sign that they're just in it for those reasons. Can you name me these examples? I can name like dozens in our group of friends.
Yes.
But we'd be interested to hear what you have to say. If you have any ideas or rules or things we missed or things that you can add to the conversation of when people are stupid and buying things and doing things for people they don't need to be doing those for. It always seems like every guy and every girl has one of these in their life, right? Every everyone.
Yeah.
Be interested to weigh in because we can do story time later where we have them on the show or talk about it. We have a new segment. We're going to just ream these people on camera in front of you just for laughs, just for our audience out there.
Sadly, you have to go at least through one or two of these in your life.
They do, though. People do.
Sad,
like,
yeah, but that's true.
Well, maybe if you watch this video before you go through those one of those experiences, maybe you'll learn from it. So that's Joe and
Taylor.
I mean, we told you. Oh, I told you, and then we'll tell you later.
Just ask us. We'll tell you again.
Exactly.